All right, everybody. We're going to talk about this. Now, I was asked the question on Discord, what makes a good no DQ hardcore match? Well, slash hardcore match. And I was sitting there looking at the question. My first thought was, how are you going to have a hardcore match and have it be disqualifications allowed? Yeah. That was my thought. But then, I remember quite a bit of hardcore matches where there were DQs because there was outside interference. It was like how can I say, not a DQ, but it was thrown out. Just thrown out. So that's basically like your silent DQ, if anything. And I get that. It's a hardcore match. They're doing their things. You're quote unquote breaking the rules, but the rules is that there are no rules. But then someone comes in, they're attacking, it gets thrown out. All right. I would think if it honestly, just for comedy's sake, I would think in a hardcore match, if you put on an actual move, you get disqualified. Just you suplex them, bite them, throw a proper punch, you get disqualified because that's not hardcore. That's when I was a kid. That's what I really thought it should have been, because I didn't know shit. So I was like, you just body slammed them, and not onto anything. That's a DQ. That's how I saw it when I was a kid. Okay, now this question mainly comes because I was just shitting all over Jon Moxley. That's where it comes from, That's where it comes from. And while I have a lot of negativity towards Jon Moxley, here, let me explain something. He goes against what would actually make a good hardcore match. And the thing is, what people need to understand, hardcore and no DQ are different things. Mm-hmm. You've got your no DQ match. All right. Now I need to explain this. When the first level, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a storyline for y'all. How about that? That cool? You think that's good, Cedra? Do a storyline for them. Just make up a storyline and let them know how it should progress. What you think?
You can do that, but can I say something first?
Say it.
When it comes to a no DQ, and I'm probably going to encroach a little bit on what you may say.
Yeah, you might say some things that I'm not going to agree with.
You may.
Yeah.
A no DQ match has become synonymous with a hardcore match, which it is not. You think about disqualification in their simplistic form. So supposedly, if you use a closed fist, you can be disqualified. If you have them in a submission hold and they grab the ropes and you don't break in the 5 count, they can be disqualified. If you have them in the corner doing something and the ref puts a count on you and you don't stop in 5, you can be disqualified. So it's not I go out and get a mallet and disembowel you with it, in front of the fans and feast on your innards. That's not that's not a DQ match. That's some bullshit. I want to see a DQ match where there's no counts. You could have them tied up in the worst knot that Zack Sabre Jr. can think of, but the ropes don't save you. That's more hardcore than hitting somebody in the head with a fucking chair. I'm done.
I couldn't disagree with any of that. I was listening too. I wanted to be like at the end, all right, let me explain something to you. You want to hear? Here you go. No. Okay, so here's how all of this is meant to go. All right, storyline form. I am going to use let's see. I guess it's best if I use people that everybody knows instead of just my own or something like that. So here's we'll use Samoa Joe. He'd be a good candidate. And who else would be a good one? Samoa Joe and somebody else who can kind of get right in the middle there. So what? Low key. All right. I'll use them because they're right in the middle, right on that good threshold.
I'd love to see them wrestle.
Again. All right. So the way this go, now y'all listen. All right. Y'all listen. This is how you can build up to this stuff that these hardcore fans like, because hardcore ain't what you think. All right, and it sucks that it all derives from porn anyway. They don't know that. But
if it really went hardcore between Samoa Joe and Low Ki, they'd be fucked for life.
Yeah.
What is he doing with his trunks? Oh no.
Simply put, you've got your various forms of porn, and hardcore was the kind where they show everything and, you know, pretty much let all hang loose. And then show every angle, every shot, all this other stuff. That, LOL. And that's what it was meant to be. Your hardcore wrestling came out of something like that. And that's kind of how it's supposed to be. Now, you got Joe, you got Low Ki. They're wrestlers. They're athletes. They do their thing. They know their craft. They know what to do in that ring, inside and out. All right? No issues. This is how you run up every level of fight to get to a hardcore match. All right? Because it's like, how do you have a good hardcore match? This is going to answer it. You first get your stuff going. You've got Low Ki, Samoa Joe. Joe and is just having a regular match with somebody, some Baba Ganoush. All right? Some Middle Eastern sweet candy, and kills him. Just kills the shit out of him. Low Ki has his match, all right? And he beats the shit out of whoever the fuck it is. Now you want to start beef with him. So what happens? Low Ki runs in on one of Joe's matches. Screws with him a little bit, leaves him alone. Joe is mad, but he goes on to win the match. Let's say it was a squash match, okay? Joe is in a story with someone else. Low Ki runs in on another match and messes with them. Then Joe finally gets to where it's contender versus contender. It's the a Eve, or it is the big event, or whichever it is going to be. All right. Low Ki runs in during the match, punches Joe right in the damn face with an object. Joe loses the match. Everyone's upset. Joe needs revenge. There you go.
Man, that's not just beef. That's buffalo.
That's some buffalo. That right there is starting to heat with them. There you go. You got Joe and Low Ki. You got beef going. They got some beef. All right. So now they got to settle this. You got your promos going, all this other stuff. Yet that's all they're going to do, right? A few promos while having their little squash matches here and there. Low Ki comes out, punches Joe in the face during one of his squash matches. Now you can't lose a squash match. Keep that in mind. All right. Can't really do that. Low Ki comes in, strikes Joe in the face with an object. Joe is mad, but Joe also more or less wins the match, disqualification. Or if the ref don't exactly know what to do, throw it out. So therefore, there's no winner and there's no loser. It just kind of didn't happen. All right. It ends with the referee stoppage, but not like that. All right. Now, Joe is pissed. They cut some more promos. Joe is like, you know, you got your stuff. You want to come in and lay at me. All right, let's do this thing. So now it's time for them to get it on. All right. It's time to get it on. They get in there. They wrestle. They do their thing. Let's say the match is about 6 minutes. Problem. Low Ki decks Joe with a closed fist. Lays him out. Bam! Joe's like, what? You can see him these days. Referee throws it out. Like they used to do. They don't do that anymore. Lays him out. Referee calls it. So then, you know, they got issues. So, you know, and Joe's like, okay, you done attacked me twice. You used objects. You hit me with a fist. This time we're going to have a no disqualification match. That's where that comes from. So you can use your closed fist. You can kick as hard as you want and as illegally as you want. You can do the low blows. You can do all this other stuff. So they have their no DQ match. That means he can choke him in the corner. No disqualification. The ref can count 5. It's like, what are you doing? Wasting your breath. Just stand back, fold your arms, and wait for it to be done. You know, or a referee can protect the wrestler by making sure he breaks them up.
Yeah.
All right, in that to make it as fair a contest as possible. Note the term contest. All right, to have it a fair contest. Now, during the match, yes, punches, closed fist punches. Decks him. He's laid out clearly to keep the match going. The one that used the closed fist, whether it's Joe or Low Key, was going to have to parade around a bit. The referee's going to have to stall him a little bit. Or they'll have to cater to the fans a little bit so the other can recover to make it look good. The other, right to the face, you do all this other stuff. The fight keeps going, all right? The contest keeps going. There's chokes, low blows, and all this other stuff here and there, making sure that only the heel is doing this and the face throws in that stiff punch only when he just can't take no more. That gives a rise from the fans saying, he's finally fighting back right. What the? Oh, ultimately, the match will conclude with the face winning. The face will win. The heel is not happy because the heel's been owning the face all this time. So, you think the beef might be over, but no, it's still just beginning. Next show, you've got the heel coming out, which would be Low Key at this moment. He comes out, he attacks Joe. What does he attack Joe with? Alright, it'll be a kendo stick, or a chair, or something like that. That's not hardcore, people. That's pretty much just crap around the ring. I don't know why you keep kendo sticks around the ring, but it's just what they do now. At first it won't. You had to get used to, have to get it made because this is what you're going into next. The no DQ won't enough. Low Key is pissed. He's coming out with chairs. Matter of fact, scrap the kendo stick. You using chairs. He might come out with a roll of quarters, brass knuckles. It don't matter. But Joe is getting jumped in the back. He's getting jumped out of the ring. Joe can't take no more. That's just how that is. He can't take no more. So Joe says this. I'm tired of you and your weapons. I'm tired of you bugging and bothering me. It's you and me in a street fight. That means, original rules, you come as you are. You dress like you walking around outside. Everyone likes to come out in the jeans and stuff. I don't know why they do that. There's some that will come out in shorts, and I like that. Come in as you would actually wear outside. That's the point of a street fight. Alright? Dress like you should. And this is where you come with the Singapore Canes / kendo sticks. You make up something. It's going to be loud. You're going to get some reactions from the crowd. You come in with your chairs or whatnot. But you come in and you start fighting, whether it's up the ramp or you start it in the back or you start it in the ring. The fight goes on. And what everyone calls today as a hardcore match is a street fight.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, street fight. That's what it was. A street fight. Your chairs, your tables, whatever the hell it is, you use it. The idea is to damage the opponent. So right now, they use a closed fist. They'll use low blows. They'll do all that stuff. All right. I'm gonna get to the hardcore stuff, y'all. Just wait. So they get that done. They fight. They battle. It's even Steven all the way through, even to the end, where at this moment, that's when you get the whole. Maybe Low Key got help. Or he just finds even worse way to cheat and win. Alright? So he might, let's say he decks him, with a stiff punch. Drops him. Beats him over the head with a chair really well. Slams the table on top of him and dives on the table. 1, 2, 3. All right. Joe ain't happy. Let's say you take the other route. Somebody runs in and attacks Joe while he's got the great upper hand and victory is all but assured. Runs in, decks Joe with something, with brass knuckles or something. All right, Joe is down, he gets pinned. Either way, Joe ain't happy. Since Joe ain't happy, Joe needs some get back. Especially since there's somebody coming to the ring. Low key, and this person now keeps fucking with Joe throughout a couple of more shows. Now they work it back and forth. Joe gets some friends. They're fighting back and forth. No one stays out of anyone's matches. Then you get what? The cage match. Now you got the cage match. It's to keep the yahoos out the ring so Joe and Low-Key can fight. And they can have the weapons in the ring. Now, what weapons they got? They might have nothing because that's how you start a cage match. The doors closed. You do your thing. They fight. They use the cage as a weapon. So that's gruesome by itself. They slam each other into the cage. They rake each other's face onto the cage. Their arms get locked up or fingers locked up in the rings of the cage or something. Or they use it as dastardly as they can, and I have seen it. And I loved it. I've seen the arms wrapped up in the bottom and top rope. The old cactus arm trap thing, cactus jack arm trap thing. And someone get a hold of them and grab the cage from behind and pull the cage, yanking it to the back of their head. I like seeing that one. That was good. Now, the cage match comes to a conclusion with what? Possibly Joe winning. You think it's over. Alright? Usually that's what would be the blow-off match right there. But people have what's called wrestle porn. It has to be worse than the last time. So now let's escalate it to the point of stupidity. Shall we? So since the street fight, the no DQ don't work. The street fight don't work. The cage match don't work. So you've done it all, right? There's nothing left. But then they say you gotta take it up a notch. So now we're gonna have a no DQ hardcore match. Why? Because let's say Joe wins, Low-Key ain't happy. Alright? Low-Key ain't happy. His people ain't happy. He's got a faction going. Joe has to find peoples. So now you've got 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 or 3-on-4 or whatnot. So you go through that crap. You go through a couple of weeks of this. They're fighting each other all the time. Cutting promos, fighting each other. The matches are no DQ. They have their short-lived street fight matches. They combine the street fight no DQ match. They do the lights out match, which, guys, originally was just a no DQ match. Alright, that was a lights out match. You do all this, but no cage. Keep in mind, no cage. Somebody comes out one week and busts somebody open. Automatic. Cuts them right the fuck open. You made me bleed, man. Like, that was the whole point of it. Now I'm not happy. So now we got to do this. We got to take this up a notch. So now you get your match and say, you know what? We going all out. We done with this. We're done with this. You and me right now. Hardcore match. We're doing a hardcore match. Because I'm tired of you running in. I'm tired of you jumping me. I'm tired of you and your boys doing all this stuff. So now it's straight up. There's no cage. No cage. There's literally, they won't say no DQ. They will say there are no rules. It will be to the finish. And that's it. There's no cage. There's no one barred from ringside. You come to the ring with your table pieces, your chairs, your Singapore canes, / kendo sticks. You come in with all this other stuff. Both of them do. They come in with their fists, wrists, part of their forearms taped up. because they know what they're about to do. They know what's finna happen. The stage is set and it's ready. So now they get into that ring and they start off fighting. Why? Because the first one to drop somebody, the winner of that is going to go get a weapon. And that's the whole point. So they get that cane. That's the first thing to get. They might have keyboards in there. They might have anything in there. But what must be had? Something sharp. So initially it starts off with thumbtacks. They pour the thumbtacks out. You know, that was the Abyss special. I don't even think that was his special, but I doubt he's the one that initiated that. I doubt it. Not with how things were, you know, with Onita and all of them. So the thumbtacks come out. Broken glass might come out. They'll have cheese graters. They'll have small little knives and stuff. They'll have any and everything. They'll splinter a table and keep using it. It's going to be a hardcore. That's hardcore. That was a hardcore match. There's no rules. So someone come in and interfere. Eventually you got everybody in there fighting. And everybody in there bleeding. Everyone's head is all jacked up and scarred up. Everyone's back is all jacked up and scarred up. They're bleeding all over the place. Back in the day, honestly, this right here would have turned everything off. Nobody wouldn't want to watch wrestling after this. And honestly, that's what happened. The female said, I'm not going to watch this. This is stupid. You know, I came here to see the people with the hot bods. And females back then were even learning wrestling. They were even knowing pro wrestling. Females left. You watch any sellout crowd back in the day. This is 1992 and back. All the way into the 70s, 60s, 50s. You know what you hear? Screams from the females. Because they would buy those tickets. They would take their girlfriends with them. Some would take their man with them. They take their kids with them. It didn't matter if it got no DQ. It didn't matter if it got street fight. It was all right. It was all good and everyone could get down with it. Even the women like violence too. And that's what wrestling is supposed to be. Simulation of violence, per se violence. And that's what it was. So it was always record numbers. Now, just the dudes are there. And dudes are pretty much working too damn much to really care about some damn wrestling like that. So your houses are low. That means people can't get paid. That means companies fold. Because now everybody, wrestle porn, they want the hardcore. That's all they want. Just like Joe and Low Key initiated the stiff kicks that they bought from Japan by mistake. They decided to do somebody decided to go ahead and, you know, get cute, and then they had to answer back. So you got both of them working that stiff style. Now everybody wants to see the stiff style, which was fine. Problem: everyone saw the hardcore, and everyone's a jaded, angsty, jacked up mindset here. So you got to have more hardcore. Everything to be hardcore, or we aren't going to go see it. So now you done lost the girls, and now you done lost the guys that actually care about wrestling, all to a niche group of dumbasses that only care about the hardcore. And that's why you don't have wrestling as great as it could be. So now, with that explained, the hardcore match goes and it's brutal. It's epic. It's epic. It's blood everywhere. And then you think after this, what in the world? So then, it's not settled because everyone's pissed off. Everyone. It's still not settled. Now, because it's not settled, because something happened to somebody, okay, but let's say Low Key won that match. But Joe knows Low Key's weakness. He's felt that weakness. He knows what it is, why it is, and what he's got to do to finally fail Low Key in that ring. He knows what he's got to do. So now you got to take it up a notch. It ain't no more hardcore. It ain't no more no DQ. It ain't no more street fight. We ain't gonna sit here and just throw some rules out. No, we're gonna throw everything out. What we're gonna do is get in that ring, and it's gonna be you and me in a death match. We're gonna put barbed wire around that. We don't have any ring ropes anymore. We got barbed wire. We don't have too much turnbuckles anymore. We don't need that stuff. We got either light tubes or some more barbed wire. We're gonna get straight up death match, hardcore, no rules, and see who's gonna come out on top. That's what happens. That's what happens. Now you got the death match. And since people don't know what the fuck to call things anymore, now you got what they call hardcore deathmatch because they don't know what shit is anymore. They just want to see some people fuck shit up. And that was a little subtle stabby. But that's it. They just want to see people get in there and fuck shit up. Fuck each other up. For no money. No glory. Shorten their careers. All because LOL funny. We want to see blood sport. Less people want to see that. And yet, if anything, if you want to build things up, that's how you would do it. Now, what makes a good no DQ hardcore match? First and foremost, you got to build up to it. Like I just did. You got to build up to a hardcore match. You have to. And there's no DQ by default. Keep that in mind. You got to build up to using nails, keyboards, glass, thumbtacks, barbed wire. That's hardcore nowadays. Not even really a death match. That's just plain hardcore. People are so desensitized to the stuff that's all grouped into a hardcore match. So you have to build up to it. And since this was basically about Jon Moxley don't build up to any of this.
He don't build up to shit.
He just does it. I don't know shit of the storyline with him and Lance Archer, but I guarantee you this, they didn't have enough matches to build up to a Texas death match.
Yeah, I don't even think there was one.
It's just, I was champion, I'm not champion because of some shit. Now I need to get my belt back. We're going to do this. Why? Because Moxley don't know shit beyond some kind of hardcore match. That's why he is shit. That's why he is garbage wrestler. Garbage wrestlers don't build up to it. They just do it.
Can I say
something? What you got to say, woman.
It is indicative of our society. And I'll make this brief. Back in the day, way back in the day, some shit happened in school. You talking about my mom, or you pushed down my little brother. Slight argument. You know what? We're gonna fight after school. They fight. Somebody wins. Somebody lose. Okay. It would have to escalate into my street's gonna fight your street, and that would take time. It's not like that anymore. Oh, you stepped on my shoe. I shot him in the head.
Exactly. And a quick thing of that was, when I was in school, quick thing. In school, two people fighting. They was fighting. The fight, no one wanted to break it up. They just want to see a fight because people are fucking stupid. So the fight ends ultimately when the authorities get there. Authorities, not police, but a principal and a vice principal come in there, and sometimes the janitor would break it up. And then the kids get suspended. They go home. Come back. They're going to fight again. This happened. I ain't giving out any names. They wouldn't know them anyway. They fight again. But no one breaks it up this time. No, they both jacked up. Teacher's like, what the hell? Can't do anything about it. There was a fight. But that's all you got. Take that mess home now. It's on the bus. They fight on the bus. Did they ride the same bus initially? No. One got on the other bus because they know people there and fight on the bus. The bus driver got to get them off the bus. Mm-hmm. And then their friends take them from their home to the other home because they know they're going to be out in the basketball park. And they go out there and they fight the basketball court. And then they fight their asses off there. No one breaks it up. Then it's all of a sudden a dog pile. Everybody fighting everybody. And then you got that. That's when it gets to what you said. this street versus that street. And there's a couple of places around that they're slowly tearing down now, but those would be some serious rumble areas. And that was back in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. All right? Now, you don't get that. Show up, gunshot, done. That's the difference.
That's the difference.
Hardcore death matches and whatnot, gun. Straight up gun. Moxley goes straight to the gun. He doesn't do the fisticuff. He don't do nothing else. He goes straight to the gun.
He comes locked and loaded. He don't stroke the pussy. He just show up and nut. There's no build up to it.
Was he ever erect? It don't matter. He finished.
He finished.
He finished. Should have been there and enjoyed it.
And you got a lot of people like, oh man, he went in and shot him in the head. This is great wrestling. And the rest of us are like, what the fuck led to all this? Nothing. He just came in mad.
Yep. He just came in. We had to do a hardcore match. It's for a title? Yeah. Well, you know what? That makes the match even more important. No, it don't.
No, it don't.
The prestige of the title makes the match important. Who you're going against makes the match important. You know, when you defend your title against Baba Ganoush in a hardcore match, it means nothing.
And it's even worse because Jon Moxley can wrestle.
He can. We've seen it.
He just chooses not to.
Because he's stupid.
And everybody that he has to wrestle his bullshit match.
Because of the dumbass company.
Lance Archer is a phenomenal wrestler.
Awesome.
A wrestler beyond his size and stature.
For sure.
So he had to get down into the gutter with Moxley and drop his belt in the process, and that's just bullshit.
Garbage bullshit.
So if you enjoy that,
yeah.
Like the old man making the subs that Harris Teeter said about our daughter. You don't know good food. You don't know good wrestling.
If you want to know what that is, she wanted a Philly steak sandwich, no cheese, no onions, no nothing, just meat and bread. And he's like, what? And I looked at him, I just shook my head. I was like, just do it.
She don't know good food.
It's like, no, she don't.
And I'll say it again. Y'all don't know good wrestling. Do you know good sex? Either do you get into the orifice and enjoy it, or you just
rabbit fuck it. Just get in there, fuck as the speed of light come. Like, yeah, baby, I love you, baby. You're so good, baby. I love you, baby. You're so good.
And done.
And she's like, well, I'm trying to read this book.
Yeah, really. Or, I'm finna go to the club. Why y'all going to the club after we have sex? I don't know. Why do I?
So that's why Moxley ain't shit. You know, literally they say the $1 million body, 10-cent brain. He's got $1 million skill, 10-cent thinking. He's got a great look. Listen. All right, you fanboys, I give a fuck. All right, I really don't give a fuck how you feel about me down in your goddamn Jon Moxley. All right. You know, you're mad. I see how. Oh, goddamn his dumbass promos. You want to get rid of me. You want to just bury me. You want to hold me back. That's how you want to hold me back. This fucker only get his way.
Yeah, you want to put me in the box.
Damn those sniveling pussies.
You want to
like
control
that.
me. What? Every match is a hard. You can't step foot in the ring without dragging the table into it.
I can't stand pussies like this. I can't stand that shit. I watched that shit growing up. People talking about people holding them back and lying to them and not giving them what they want. They get every goddamn thing they want. Everything. I see people just skip school, get no trouble at all, and then mad when someone says you got detention. Instead of, oh my God, fuck these people. Jon Moxley is one of these little punk ass bitches that do that shit. He get up there and talk those words that every person out there who is actually held back feel. And they're like, we like you, Moxley. You say what we think. And yet Moxley is up there privileged as fuck from how I can see it. He gets what he wants. How you just come back to a prestigious company, get a title match to win the belt in your fashion, where the champion who has actually earned the belt has to defend it in a way that fits you. But yet you'll come back to AEW and talk about, you're holding me back, I'm not getting my way, yada, yada, yada. That's it. That's the problem I have. That's the problem anyone else should have. And to be honest with you, yeah, our baby girl is back. Oh, when did you pull up the doorbell?
A while ago.
So, Jon Moxley and all of them, they can eat my ass. I don't like them. I don't respect them. I just don't. This is going on long enough as it is. I am pretty much burned out talking about Jon Moxley because he ain't worth a shit. Jon Moxley ain't worth a shit. Just ain't.
Bye.
So, if y'all got more questions, y'all can ask him. Y'all can ask him. But Jon Moxley got everything, and all he can do is hardcore. He can't do anything else. He can't. If he could, he would. But all he's gonna do is just sit there and do the same dumbass promos, have the same matches with no build-up, no fanfare, no nothing, and companies let it happen. They could stop it, but they don't. Because they think Moxley got this massive crowd of people. So you come here, you bring your fans here. You're here because we get asses in the seat. A true, good, professional wrestling company don't need to bring in someone popular to put asses in the seat. They don't need to hotshot it. They can just go ahead and do their product, do it the right way, build that shit up properly, and people will just word of mouth say, if you ain't watching this, then what's wrong with you? That's what they're lacking. They don't need Moxley. Moxley needs them, and they got it twisted. So at 36 minutes and some seconds going up, if you got questions, if you're still mad at me why I don't like Moxley, anyone out there, I give a fuck who he is. You don't like that I don't like Moxley? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't like garbage wrestling. I don't like garbage wrestlers. There's hardcore that can be done well. It can be. You just use chairs. You use your chairs, your canes, maybe some closed up fists here and there, But people don't know what it is anymore. They don't know how to build up to it. They don't know the meaning of it. They don't know shit. So hardcore wrestling, it's a thing. It's a genre now. It's not a build-up. It's not a blow-off match. It's not a go-home match or anything like that. No, it's just do it. Just get in the ring and do stupid shit. And that's why it's fucking stupid. So, if y'all just want, condom off, jizz in you, then have at it. But man, honestly, I would like to see a little bit of the undressing, maybe some talking, some foreplay, and then work up to penetration, and then let's work up to everything else, and then pop. That would be nice. Instead of, I just popped. Wait a minute, we're still standing here. It's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm going home. What the fuck? Like the candles and stuff set up? Yeah, I'm all good. See you later. It goes like that for a woman. Just walk in and look at you and just, whoosh, shit. And you're like, whoa, girl, you ready? No, I'm done. Huh? But the dinner, the movie, cuddling? No, I'm going home. It's already 10:30. I'm asleep. So just keep that in mind, y'all. All right. If y'all looking at the screen, you know who we are. You know what we do. Check out those places. Please do. But yeah, that's hardcore wrestling. Everything about it. What would make a good match. The build-up. A good build-up. The blow-off. All of that stuff that you would need. Hopefully this answered questions. Satisfied something. All right. I got videos for another channel anyway I got to do. So, peace. Leave your comments and whatnot. And if you're going to downvote or unsubscribe, let me know why. Alright? Because it's probably something that don't make sense anyway. But I'm real curious. And I'll probably leave it up there. I won't even get rid of it. I might even upvote the damn thing. So, with that said, bye-bye.